Hey y'all, our newest Austin real estate stats are just out and I want you to be the first to hear about them. So let's get into them. Our median sales price, big thing a lot of people pay attention to, came down 1.8%, almost 2% when we compare it to September of 2024. Not a huge change, but not in the direction we'd like to see. Closed sales are up. They're up almost 7% when we compare them to this time last year. New listings are down. So we had a lot more new listings in 2024 this time of year. They're 6% down in 2025. However, our active listings, how many we have on the market, is up 10%. And that's because we have, a lot of inventory that has not sold and that is still on the market. So that's making our amount of active listings 10% greater than last year. Months of inventory up just about half a month over September 2024. We're currently sitting at about 5.7 months of inventory. Most people are just going to call that 6. We should see properties come off market this time of year, typically as we get into the holiday season. And, fewer active listings coming on. A lot of sellers are going to wait and time their listing for the spring when more volume of real estate is being sold. There's more buyers on the market. That's also when there's the most sellers in the market, is that spring market. So a lot of buyers, but a lot of competition. So you kind of, in real estate, very tiny little changes seasonally, you really can level that playing field throughout the year as far as supply and demand. So sales volume dollar is up 6% over last year. We're at 1.33 billion in real estate sales so far this year. Average days on market keeps going up, y'all, and now seasonally too, with fewer buyers in the market. That's a reason for longer days on, as well as a lot of competition. So that's up 5 days to 76 days on market, being the Austin Metro average. And then average close to list price, that came down a little bit. It was almost 93% in 24 of September. We're now at like 91.5% that sellers are getting of their original list price. Out there in the streets, y'all, doing this real estate thing, it comes in waves, this buyer activity, and, it'll be kind of dead and light on showings for 2-3 weeks, and then we'll get a really good weekend and we'll get several properties under contract. I'm helping a couple of first-time home buyers right now. That's been fun. These interest rates, they're challenging for them. Just trying to keep that payment in an affordable level. And it's difficult when you can rent a property for this lower price, but trying to, have a mortgage and taxes and insurance on it, a comparable property, it's still a little bit more to have a mortgage on it than to lease it. So that's part of the challenges that our first-time home buyers are facing. Now, long game, this is going to be a really good thing for them to invest in a home now and collect that appreciation and pay down that note and be able to improve that property that's theirs. So that's going to be great for them. But, helping buyers for it to make sense for them now, it's challenging still for them. Interest rates currently around 6.2%. We had a little tiny dip last week. That's okay. Keep doing these little dips. I think if we get to where we see a 5 in front of our interest rates, we're going to see a pickup in activity in the real estate market. Pretty much if you purchased before March of 2021, you are sitting on a good amount of equity in your home. We saw really big hikes in our home values. Yes, we're seeing them come down, but it is just ever so slight, about 3% a year that we've seen in the last couple of years. And so if you've bought prior to that early 2021 date, you are sitting on a really nice investment. If you've bought post early 2021, you may find yourself as a seller in a situation where you don't have any equity in the home. You owe more than what it's worth. And to those of you in that situation, luckily real estate still has some fluidity to it. You can long-term rent that property. You can short-term rent that property. You can decide to continue to live in it until our appreciation comes back. And it will. It absolutely will. And typically 5 years in a home, you're going to come out pretty good when you decide to sell, as long as you've owned it 5 years or more. So real estate is very sensitive to where you are locally, what's going on in your neighborhood. So let's definitely go into the comparables that really affect your property if you're looking at listing. And then also, dissecting your situation as well. That makes a big difference in how we decide to market, list the property, our plan for the listing. It depends on your situation and what's going on with you and what your goals are. So reach out if y'all want to talk about any certain properties or even the real estate market. I look at this stuff all the time. Hope this is helpful, y'all, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.